Welcome to the Relateable podcast, a safe space for open and honest conversations created for Black people.
This podcast explores how we relate to one another in our intimate connections, friendships, family, and everything in between. Hosted by 3 Caribbean women. I am Fiona, a single mom.
I'm Shaween, a very near empty nester.
And I'm Chantal, a free-spirited monogamist. Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Relatable podcast. And today we are going to talk about burnout. We have all been there. Are you in a state of burnout right now? Do let us know when you hear this episode. Anyways,
Burnout.
checking in. Chantal, how are you feeling?
Wow. You know what? I am very close to burnout.
Okay.
I am very, very close to burnout. And this week so far it seems to be drawing me nearer. So what an apt topic to discuss today. Well-timed, very much aligned. I am actually meant to be in Trinidad right now, but I am not. I am in Nevis. Because I had to postpone my trip to Trinidad, which I was very much looking forward to.
So when is it being rescheduled to?
Well, I have to get through the next few weeks and then I'll figure it out.
Because we should just all go down together.
Wait, what's happening?
We're supposed to be there in January, isn't it?
Oh, well,
yeah, we
okay.
said we are looking to go down to do a trying thing with Franca.
So we might as well do a try to thing and a relatable.
One cut.
Yo, give me the
cut
dates and I will rebook y'all. Well, that just made me happy.
Okay. Everything happened for a reason, yes.
Well, this is the thing. And this is the lesson that I learned. I just have to trust the process. You know, it's not always easy when you're in the midst of unexpected changes. But in terms of making sure that my vagus nerve and, you know, my cortisol levels were kept in check, I really had to let go of trying to control the situation and just trust that everything that was conspiring to keep me away from getting on that plane and being in Trinidad was for the highest good, right? So that's what I had to do to get through this weekend and to get me through this week. So yeah. How have things been with you, Shaween?
With me, it's like a bit of the come down from the birthday last week. Mm-hmm. And it is, okay, Shaween, you can't be partying all month. You have to get back to reality. But yeah, it's been good. I really enjoyed the birthday. And yeah, I'm just now trying to catch up and sort my life out, sort things out, get things ready for next month. All right, let's get shit done now. That's where I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, what about you?
I'm there. I mean, I think burnout comes ups and downs, right? For me. So little things have been really helpful. Like just having a shower. I was just like this morning, like I was feeling just a little bit flustered. And then I went and had a shower and I sat down outside. I'm like, yeah, man. And I literally said to myself, I feel really good right now. When I do, I should make sure to say it, to cement it.
Yes.
Because we're very thing to say, I feel like shit, or I'm vexed, or and I don't think, but I definitely do not say I feel really good right now. And I wanted to make sure that I cemented that feeling in my brain today.
Yeah, you're rewiring. And we do have to intentionally do that because as we've said a few times here on the podcast, you know, our brains are actually chemically made up to focus more on the negative than the positive. It's a lot easier for our brain and subconscious to take in the negative, right? And so we have to intentionally kind of flip that and say, actually, I'm feeling good. And I love that you did that, Fiona, taking a shower, the water, sitting in the sun, getting your vitamin D, girl.
Yep.
And then affirming yourself.
100%. really help. But I have a question. You mentioned the vagus nerve, right? Could you explain to us what is that?
No problem. So the vagus nerve, I'm actually going to give you the technical, because if I do it in my shiny speak, I might get something wrong. The main function of this nerve is it's responsible for the regulation of internal organ functions, like your digestion, your heart rate, right? Which is very important, respiratory rate, as well as vasomotor activity and certain reflex actions, such as coughing, sneezing, swallowing, and even vomiting, right? And what happens if the vagus nerve is blocked is basically you get really tired. You might develop chronic pain, dizziness, lightheadedness, spinning, weight loss. Your focus may be off. You're not inspired to exercise. Your emotional state is just very choppy. It's not fluid. It leads to like inflammation, heartburn. So honestly, the vagus nerve, it governs so much, and it's one long. I wish, maybe we should do visuals. We shouldn't. This is Miss. I don't want to do no video podcast. It's not a podcast. It's not a podcast. That is not a podcast. But it really is like this central. It connects. It sits just at the top of your spine, right? And so you know how we carry stress in our neck and the top of our shoulders. Can you imagine the impact it has on your vagus nerve if it's compressed, right? And blocked, when it governs so much of our daily functions. So not just physical functions, but mental and emotional, right? So if your vagus nerve is out of whack, you will feel it almost immediately. And so many things, of course, can impact that. I'm not a doctor, a professional, or anything like that. But it's just through years of my exploring wellness and my experience in that realm. And I can feel when I'm not taking good care, when I'm not tending to my vagus nerve. And say, for instance, you've been in a minor accident and you've had whiplash. Oh my, you feel the physical stuff immediately. But then you notice, oh, I'm feeling kind of low since I had that accident, almost like a period of sadness. And some people may even fall into a depression. Most of that can be tracked back to the fact that your vagus nerve has been impacted, right? So you're now going about your day with a vagus nerve, almost a dysfunction of that.
Okay.
So it's really important that we take care of that. And maybe we can bring on like a wellness professional to dive into caring for the vagus nerve. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. So that's something that we can park and explore for another episode.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying that.
All right.
The way you've broken it down there, like, boy, when it block, all of these things happen, and I know
everything mash up.
Yes, like everything.
Everything mash up. Everything mash up. Everything out of whack. Everything feels off balance. It's serious, man. It's serious. But you know what? It link into, what we're going to be speaking about today, which is burnout, right? So we could actually come back to the vagus nerve later in the conversation. But before we get going with our experiences of burnout, I looked for an official definition of what is burnout. And according to WHO, which is the World Health Organization, burnout is a state of physical and emotional exhaustion. It can occur when you experience long-term stress, feeling tired or drained most of the time, feeling helpless, trapped, and or defeated, feeling detached, alone in the world, having a cynical, negative outlook, self-doubt, feeling overwhelmed. 1 or 2 is marker enough for you to know, okay, I am beyond exhausted, right? And the reason why we decided to speak about this topic right now is because we're so close to, well, in America, you guys, I think, are in the holiday period because you have that celebration, which we shall not name, that kicks off your holiday period. And there's a lot of pressures and stress that comes with the holiday time, right? There's work-related stress, family. There's a pressure for everything to be perfect. You know, in the Caribbean, there are a few carnivals. So there's people thinking, Lord, can I afford to do carnival? Imagine that. Can I afford to do carnival?
Yep, that's
Can
what
I
it's
afford to do
become.
carnival, you know, this year? That's what it's become. Again, another episode. And when we think about where we are globally, with everything that's happening, with the many instances of genocides taking place in many countries in the world, is a lot. To sum it all up, globally, personally, the time of the year, there's a hell of a lot going on. And that can definitely be very overwhelming. And a lot of us, I don't know, I should speak for myself, but in the past, I haven't fully recognized that I've been in burnout. Instead, I've kind of pushed myself saying, Gil, what's wrong with you? You know, you got things to do.
Yep.
You know, or even said to myself, Shannon, why are you being so lazy? Not recognizing that I am fully burnt out.
Yeah, boy.
And my first instance of burnout, I think for me, or at least when I recognized that I was burnt out, was, you know, just after I'd moved to the UK when I was 29. And, you know, I was going through a divorce. I was essentially starting over again, and then started university at the same time. So moving, you know, to a country that I hadn't lived in as an adult, everything that comes with that, going through a divorce and then deciding, okay, now it's time for me to do my degree. What? Madness. And everything was okay-ish for a few months of working a full-time job, going to university, dealing with divorce lawyers, you know, still trying to find appropriate housing. I think I managed that for maybe 2 months before I started to sink. I would be in my favorite place at university, which is the library. I find so much comfort in being surrounded by books. And I'm like, wait, I'm in my favorite place and I still ain't feel right. You know, and my university actually offered free counseling services for its students. And so I reached out to an advisor and they recommended me to get the counseling. And within the first session, the counselor was like, Chantal, speaking to me really nicely, you are going through a divorce, you're doing a degree, you're working full time, you're still transitioning into being in a relatively new country because you haven't lived here as an adult, and you're tired. She's like, my love, you're not tired, you're burnt out. Your body is saying no, you don't have the mental and emotional capacity. You know, you've been beating yourself up saying, you know, why can't I stick to this? Why can't I get my assignments in on time? She said, that's procrastination. You know, it's taking you longer to finish those assignments than it did before. You're feeling like you don't have any support. You don't feel safe. You're exhausted. She's like, Chantal, you're burnt out. Right? And so she recommended a few things. And the option I took was actually to defer that year. I decided to defer that year.
That's a big thing to do, you know.
Yeah, I decided I can't do this. And so I deferred that year. I took some time for myself to really just focus on settling into London. But it wasn't an easy decision for me to make because there's so much self-judgment and also fear of being judged by others, whether it's your family or, you know, friends and so forth, thinking, wow, you know, she can't get her act together. She's out there. She don't have no children. You know, she doesn't have any responsibilities. Why can't she do all these 5 major things all at the same time? Because I am a human being. I am not a robot. But a lot of my conditioning came from the Caribbean, that we can do all the things and that we must be overachievers all the time. And if you are not an overachiever, then you are a failure because you are judged from your academic success. And how success looks, old school Caribbean, is having the degrees, having the paper, having the house, having the marriage, the relationship, the car, making the money. All of those things are markers of success. And of course, if we track back, we know where that comes from, right? Right, because we have something to prove. We feel that we have something to prove. And as Fiona likes to say, while other people are free to just frolic and skip through the flower field and frolic and be ethereal and just float through life, we are not given that privilege. And so often you find a lot of Black people, people of color, suffer from burnout, don't recognize it as burnout, and push through to their detriment. And then we end up developing these stress-related diseases and conditions. You know, some forms of diabetes are brought on by stress. There's so many things that are developed that come from stress and not managing our stress and not caring for ourselves enough and being friggin' burnt out and thinking that taking a break is failing and resting is failing, whilst other races around us are free to rest and have a mental health day and do all the things. But we so believe, or we've been indoctrinated with this mindset of capitalism and proving ourselves over and over again, and we're falling apart.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's really been unlearning that shit. I'm being very intentional about practicing rest and practicing saying no and practicing taking care of myself, because it doesn't come innately. It comes innately to care for others, but it does not come innately to care for myself. And a lot of people who are being intentional in our community about that, amongst their families, they're receiving a lot of pushback and a lot of judgment. And so it's not easy to be the one or the ones in your family kind of breaking those generational traumas and doing things differently. Because again, you're going against the grain. You're going against what has been our normal. But I'm going against our normal because I want to live. I don't just want to live. I want to thrive. And I want to enjoy this life that I have. And I don't want to be caught up in that Ferris wheel or rat race or whatever you call it. And my success doesn't look like that. And it doesn't feel like that, because that feels like burnout. And why should I be going through my life feeling burnt out? It doesn't make sense. And so for me, my journey with burnout now is I can sense, I have an awareness. I said to you guys before we started to record that I'm dangerously close. And I know I'm dangerously close because it's getting harder to wake up in the mornings. It's getting harder to focus on my daily to-do list. I said to Fiona, girl, I haven't been to the beach in weeks for a swim. I haven't been. Yeah, Shoei. Yep. I haven't been for my morning walks, right? And when I looked at the listing of symptoms for burnout, not being able to exercise, not having the desire to exercise, when I love moving my body, I know that I'm heading towards burnout. So it's now up to me to push back and say no. I've received a few emails this week where people want to do work with me or want me to come on board as a consultant. And I'm like, no, especially, dude, this is November.
When they calling you to do that work, when they want you to do that?
No.
Yo, like, November finishing tomorrow. They don't understand from tomorrow. It's holiday.
See you next year season.
Next ESP, next ESP 2024, homie. What are you talking about?
Homie, it's like, I'm like, no.
You're already trying to make anybody do any work in December.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You see how Europeans don't play with their holiday. Europeans, when it's summertime, half the offices shut down for the holiday. They're gone somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Christmas time, after a certain date, you can't get nobody. We'll speak next year, right? And I feel like because in the Caribbean, we are closer to America, and America is so shit. Yeah, with a capital S. In fact, the whole word, because the fact that the average American only has 10 days holiday a year, right? Unless you're a government worker, right? So that equates to 2 weeks a year. We need to chill on adopting those kind of American mentalities, because I don't know if you know I don't know if Nevis has the same thing, but now St. Lucia is all about Black Friday, right? Boy. 5 years ago, we didn't have that foolishness. Black Friday. I saw a video of people outside courts in Trinidad, Black Friday. It was a mob, right?
Yep.
A mob. And everybody knows courts is the biggest. I try to... Thief. Yeah, I was going to say mob all this, and I said, not everybody going to know I'm going. Biggest, just... Anyways, and I'm like, we taking on a lot of American stuff, because now I'm seeing like Christmas decorations coming up earlier and earlier. It's like day after Black Friday, boom, Christmas sale, because everything. I'm like, December is a time where when people were supposed to be focusing on the holidays, getting your house ready. Why did Shannon send work for you?
No. My simple answer, no.
No, link me in January.
No. Yeah, I'm winding down. I'm not taking on any new projects. It's not happening. And that's me taking care of myself and actually operating from abundance rather than lack, because obviously I'm self-employed. And so
can you say that again? Say that again. You're operating from what?
A space of abundance rather than lack, right?
And can you expand on that, please?
Just knowing that I will be fine and that there is enough. There's enough supply for me to be fine, and that I don't have to say yes from fear of not having lined up another project, right? I'm self-employed. And so my work is project-based. But I know that when I say yes to things, and it is primarily because I'm fearful that I won't have an income coming to my account, that usually ends up not being a space that I should be in project-wise. It's not a project that I should have said yes to. I prefer to say yes from a place of, this project sounds amazing.
Yes.
It's in line with my personal ethos. I would love to be involved. It needs to be a big yes, rather than a yes coming from, well, let me just take this income, money happy make. No more. No. Because my emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being deserve better than that.
It was through the Trampery Chantal that I did like a really amazing workshop that taught about burnout. Right. And it's like you go into different cycles. I don't remember all, but burnout, you kind of go like in a circle, right? So sometimes you're at your peak, and when you're in a good place, you're like more productive, your best ideas flow and whatever. And then when you get into it, they didn't use the word lack, they used another word, but it's kind of operating from a place of lack. So therefore you become desperate. So you're trying to scrape to find ideas, and you're pushing yourself, you're not getting no ideas, and you become more and more, and that's what leads you to burnout, because you're pushing so hard. I need to make money, I need to create this idea, I need to start this new business, I need to do this, and then nothing flows and nothing comes to you because you're operating from a place of lack, and therefore it leads you then into burnout because you're not getting the results that you want.
Right.
And I thought it was very interesting. So you have to take time. So they say you have to rest and rejuvenate in order to get yourself to that peak, your peak productivity, peak peace of mind, peak flow, right? Because if I have to get the word for you, but I thought it was very interesting because I've done that when I've been desperate to make money, desperate to come up with a great idea, desperate to create something that is going to manifest me the thing I want. And it ain't happening.
No, it doesn't happen, does it, Fee?
No.
It really doesn't.
It's allowing things to go organically. And as you said, if you put yourself first, I'm looking after myself first, the things will come. I need to shout out my manager, JD, real quick on this one, because she has taught me a lot of things we have said no to, because she recognized that it would not be beneficial for my health, not even her health, mine. And she'd never tell me, if you're not, don't do it. She would be suggestive to say, I don't think that, or, if it's not good for your space, mental health, whatever, then don't. And it has really, really transformed my life and how I work.
Absolutely. And it's so wonderful when we have people in our lives who teach us or even remind us of what's truly important, and that you are the most important thing in your life, right? And in a sense, that is what Jadine was doing. And that's what she does for you. She reminds you by suggesting, of course, but she's reminding you of what's important. And Fiona's well-being is the most important. It's most important for you to be able to create the way that you want to create, to have that work-life balance that you've been wanting to create for years, and to continue to attract the abundance and prosperity that you deserve, that we all deserve, because there is plenty available. But the way that the patriarchal system has been set up, it would appear that there isn't enough for everyone, but there really is more than enough. But some of us have just been blocked from accessing that, whether it's through socialization, through different circumstances, but there is always enough for everyone. Don't believe the hype, don't believe the lies, right? So, Miss Shaween, what has been your personal experience with burnout?
Boy, can I just say, I feel like I'm in a constant state of burnout. I'm serious. I am serious. And I think for me, it's because I've been in survival mode, forever. It's a constant state of survival mode, trying to do whatever I have to do, whatever it takes to make sure the kids are fine, make sure the rent is paid, make sure I do this, make sure I do that. Constant state of survival. And there's not been a break. So I know for sure I've been burnt out many times. And how I react to it, I can be very dramatic sometimes, as in, you go ahead from me for
no weeks. Way. Shaween dramatic, never.
Whatever. Yes, I will. I will send out a message saying I'm incommunicado. You will not hear from me. I will just be in my bed. I go through my bouts of depression and I'll be in a dark place. And I know that. But I know to always pull myself out from it. But I think with me, it is the survival mode, the constant survival mode. It's so bad that I'm almost used to it. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah, it's so bad that I am used to it. I'm used to, but now I've made a decision that I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want to be in that state anymore. Okay. And it's hard. It's hard. The procrastination is bad. Sometimes I will just burst into tears. That's bad. I will have my bouts of staying in my bed. Boy, anyway, it's bad. It can get very, very bad with me. Very bad. And it's just pulling myself out of it. And I do this thing. And when I notice I'm doing it, I stop myself. So I will be lying in bed and I'll be like, okay, I know I have this, that, and that to do. I will do it at 5:15. No, I'll do it at 1:15. No, I'll do it at 1/2. No, I'll do it at 1:45. No, I'll do it at, and it will just go on and on and on and on. And then I will check and I'll say, Shaween, you've still not done the damn thing.
Yeah.
I've still not done it. So it's bad. My burnout is bad. I know I am currently in one. Every month. I have this big issue on my hand every month. The rent, the bills, everything I have to pay. And I'm like, boy. So I say to Fiona, you see, when the 15th of every month hit, my head hurting me. I don't sleep properly. I'm there, but I'm not there. My mind working 24/7. I have to smoke a little joint before I go and sleep. Otherwise, I'm not sleeping. I'm waking up every hour on the hour, thinking, worrying. And then it gets bad when I cannot meditate. When I cannot pray, I cannot meditate, I cannot focus. That's when I say, okay, Shaween. Yeah. Today is what? Wednesday. That happened on Tuesday. No, on Monday that happened. And I just said, fuck it. I got up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm trying to meditate, trying to pray, trying to organize things, and nothing happening. Nothing's happening. I'm just there worrying. So I got up out of my house, 6:30. I go and walk. I just went walking. I said, fuck it. I'm going on walk. And that felt good. That felt really, really good. How I deal with it, I don't know. I'm trying to deal with it. I don't know if it's working, but yeah, it's a bad situation, but it's even worse when you're used to it. And coming out of it, I do not see I'm trying to understand what it is to come out of it or to live a life without being in that survival mode constantly. And I think that's one of my issues.
It does make sense, Shaween. And what stood out for me is the fact that you recognize when you're heading into it. because
yeah, definitely.
there are people that don't. So you're already one step ahead because you are recognizing like, yo, I'm heading towards this state again, and what am I doing here? And then that particular day you said, I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful, because by you moving your body, you are igniting those happy hormones. So you're doing something intentionally to raise your vibrations, as they say, to raise your energy. So kudos to you, Sherween, because not many people, not everyone, I should say, has that type of awareness.
And can I just say that being in St. Lucia has helped a lot. Being home, it's a different type of pressure from what I had in the UK, but my God, I'll take my pressure here right now any day over being in the UK and having that sense of feeling like I'm drowning. Literally, but at least here I have the sunshine. I could go for a walk. I could go to the beach. Y'all see, we post things all the time. I'm posting, nice little videos of us enjoying ourselves and things. So I could enjoy myself still. I could put it on pause. Literally, I put it on pause and I say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to go down the road. I'm going to drink 2 pitos. We're going to go on that ride. I can put it on pause now. Before, I couldn't. Before, I don't think I was like allowed to put it on pause, if you get what I mean. In the UK, you're not allowed to put it on pause. You either wallow or you miraculously do something to change it. I do not know. I don't know. But here, I feel like I can put it on pause. And come back to deal with it later. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I think I still want some therapy. I still need some therapy. But handling it, I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I don't know. This one is hard for me.
This one is hard. Yeah. I think it's hard for all of us, because so many of us are out there functioning with burnout, if that makes sense. You know how they have that term, a functioning depressive, I think, where people with depression are out in the world, still doing their thing, hitting their deadlines, doing all the things, but internally they are a wreck. And I think maybe there are some of us kind of walking around fully burnt out and presenting as otherwise, but that is not sustainable. And at some point, you're going to crash. We're going to crash. And we should. I am of the belief that we should allow ourselves to crash, because it is in the crashing that we then truly have to recognize and accept where we are, and then start to turn things around. Because if you're not fully crashed, right, you're like, man, I could get through. I could get through another week. I could get through another month, man. If I just finish this one thing, mark this off my list, then I only have to deal with these 5 billion other things, right? And I'm going to get through everything. I'm going to get through. And and it can keep on going like that, because you haven't fully crashed. But when you fully crash and you're on the floor, like, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you are on the floor.
Yes.
You don't have a choice. You're going to have to deal with this shit and then work your way out. And the only way to do that is to take care of yourself and to prioritize yourself. And it's like this, and I'm speaking broadly, we just are so reluctant to prioritize ourselves in anything. We're so reluctant.
Correct. Because I think for women especially, it's something we have witnessed, right? So we've witnessed our mothers, grandmothers serve everyone else at the dinner table before they serve themselves. You see that they organize everyone else to get dressed before they organize themselves. They do everything first for others. So we don't even know how to, because we never saw the women in our lives prioritizing themselves.
Very true. I think I mentioned before that me now being on my own, it's so bad. I do not know how to take care of myself.
Mm.
You understand? So with all the shit that was going on with the kids, the move, the this, the that, and now I'm on my own and I do not know how to take care of myself. When I say how to take care of myself, I mean, obviously I know I have to bathe and thing and, but what does Showing want to make her happy? What does Showing do to make herself happy? What does Showing like to eat? What does Showing like, what's my hobby, for fuck's sake? What's my hobby? Sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. I'm sorry, audience. I'm just in that mood.
Right.
But yeah, what are my hobbies?
What did you tell me when we were by the beach the other day? You said something very powerful. Do you remember what you said?
I can't remember, baby.
You said, and I was like, girl, you said you don't know what your favorite dessert is, but you know the desserts of the men that you're in relationships with.
Oh, Showing.
Yep.
And that's a big one.
Okay.
I could tell you what they like to eat. I could tell you what my kids love. I could tell you all these things. But ask me what my favorite dessert is, I do not know. I know what I don't like, but I don't know what my favorite dessert.
Okay.
And thinking about it is sad. And that's because I've given my entire life to serving other people. But now where I have been forced to do it for myself, now I don't know where the hell to start.
You start,
so I'm discovering
one day at a time, one dessert at a time.
Right.
Yeah,
and being in survival mode, trying to discover what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what are the things that, it's not easy either, because now I'm like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to try that, I want to go on this boat ride, I want to travel, I want to do this, but survival mode,
okay,
you can't.
Okay.
So and I think that part is bringing me down a bit more. It's about putting the work in now. Welcome to this week's episode of Under the Mango Tree. Now, this week we invite you to have a listen to one of our Creole bands, or Shack Shack bands, or solo bands. These bands are very prominent around the island throughout the month of October, which is our Creole month. You could enjoy some of the beautiful sounds of the banjo, the Shack Shack, the African drum, which we call our taboo. So we invite you to have a listen, enjoy as much as we did.
So we've spoken a bit about burnout and, what we feel burnout is and recognizing it and awareness. Let's look at some solutions, because we don't want to, address a problem without giving some possible solutions. So I did some research, even though I have my own opinions and things that I do. I was like, how I do, Miss Nerdy Shani. I want official stuff. I want the science. So I got in touch with the Cleveland Clinic. And the reason why I did is because I have someone who works there. So I reached out to them and they directed me actually to their website. And they have a list of 6 steps that a person needs to take when recovering from burnout. Okay. And actually, we've discussed a few of them here. So I feel really good. Admitting you're burned out. That is the first thing. You can't get better if you don't acknowledge that your current situation needs to change. This can be difficult, especially if the thing that's burning you out, parenting or a job you actually love, is important to you. You have to admit there's a problem before you can solve the problem, right? Okay. Second, which might be a bit more difficult, putting distance between yourself and your stressors if possible.
Ooh.
As in setting boundaries.
All right.
There you go.
You don't know. Right?
Sometimes, not answering phone calls.
Shut up.
Oh, wait. Who that?
Or not responding to WhatsApp.
I don't know who getting that shade.
That you don't have to.
Your cough, your throat scratching.
Wait a minute.
I just have something in my throat, Chantal, but I'm just
your
trying to say my throat is scratching. I'm just saying that, if someone sends you a message, you're not obligated to respond. Absolutely. Today or tomorrow or whatever.
Or whenever.
You're not.
No, I agree with you. And
if they call you, you don't have to answer the call.
You do not have to answer
Sorry,
the call.
I made some coconut cake and a piece of coconut.
And you're choking? You're choking.
In your throat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Okay.
Cough still.
All right, continue coughing.
Oh, I choked.
They dove a little further into that, right? And basically putting distance between yourself and your stresses if possible. And what that means will vary based on your situation and resources. Distance could be as significant as quitting your job or taking a leave of absence from work. Or it could be as small as, or even smaller than, taking a mental health day or taking some child-free time for self-care or disconnecting from social media.
Ooh.
And we need to talk about social media in this, but let's go through the 6, yeah? So focusing on your health. You've been running on empty for a while, so it is time to refill your tank. This may mean getting an extra hour of sleep at night, cooking your favorite food instead of grabbing takeout, or going out dancing with your friends. Whatever helps you feel like yourself again.
You see why I love Gros?
Yes.
Going out dancing.
That is 100% showing stress relief. I've seen it. Boy. I've seen it myself. I think it's her one time of the week to just let everything off. She sings loud. She doesn't care. This is when she's at her most, freest, 100%.
Yep.
And I think it's like a really nice outlet. The other day we were talking about going. Gros, another friend of ours, like, oh, do we have to go there? Can't we just go somewhere? I guess he was being suggestive. Maybe we could go somewhere to have constructive conversation. He's like,
oh Lord,
do we need to go there? Is what we're going to do there, to stay there and watch people and it's like, yes, we are. We are going to watch people. We're going to sing loud in the road. We're going to dance.
We're going to like nobody's there.
We're going to drink cheap rum. And that's it. Yep. We're not here to have positive, constructive conversation about moving the world forward. No, it's for none of those things. Nope. We want to go, and I don't want to go to a bar just to sit down and talk. No, we want to dance.
No.
I just want to dance like nobody's around me, nobody's watching. The way I dance in my mirror, that's how I want to go and dance and sing. Like when I'm in the shower, that's what I want to do. And just, it's the perfect environment for that. And I don't give a rat's ass about anybody.
I agree with you, Sherwin. Do you guys, like, when I go out to a function that is primarily based on music, the last thing I want to be doing is having a conversation.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Like, music I play. What are you talking to me for?
Exactly. I just want to let loose.
I have to let out a little bit of resentment, because Sherwin and her asses always leave me. If someone will come and strike a conversation, right? Sherwin will just slowly inch her way away and leave me there. Sherwin will leave me there.
I'm over it.
Team Sherwin. Fiona, I'm sorry, my love.
What she will do in the first maybe 15 seconds, she will engage in a conversation. Hi, yes,
nice to meet you.
And then you will see her just get very quiet, slowly, and leave me to carry the conversation, and then she go about her business. And before I know it, the person is there talking to me, and I'm looking over their shoulder, and I see Sherwin there in the middle of the crowd whining,
having a time.
That is a problem. It's an idiot. I'm like, this bitch.
I can't haggle. I didn't come there for that. I didn't come there for that. Don't get me wrong. Hey, Fiona, come on. Fiona is like a little celebrity in St. Lucia.
Right.
Not little. Bitch,
No.
everybody knows you in St. Lucia. Everywhere we go, people come in and talk to Fiona. And I don't have a problem with that. I know my business, but they don't want to talk to me, and I don't want to talk to them either. So I'm taking myself away. It's not my conversation.
Bye.
I'm
That is
taking myself away.
That's
And
not
I try
always
to
the
do
case.
it in the best way possible. I'll say, I need to pee. I'm gonna pee.
She just lies so
I'm gonna
much.
check that over there.
She just lie,
But
and
I'm
I
out.
know when she does lie. I
Deuces.
know.
So, number 4, reevaluating your goals and values. As your health starts to improve, it's time to use those resources to do some thinking about the situation that actually led you to burnout. What are you not getting that you need to be happy? Is your mindset helping or hurting you? Are your priorities in sync with your values? What's most important to you and why? This is a big one.
Yes.
Let me ask you all a question. Let me ask you a serious question. I know we've spoken about our mothers in depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you have inherited habits from your mother that annoy you when she does it, but you have ended up adopting those same habits?
Yes. And I'm doing my best to undo them, because I'm like, oh, no. This is something that I'm not a fan of. You know, a behavior pattern, a mindset that I'm not a fan of. And I have actively been working on undoing that, because of course I grew up with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
She was my first point of contact. She was the first person that really started to socialize my behavioral patterns. It's my mother. Mm-hmm. So as much as I may recognize things in her that I don't feel serve her well, and therefore wouldn't serve me well, your subconscious is a powerful, powerful thing. And whether I like it or not, there are definitely thought patterns and mindsets that I have subconsciously inherited from my mom that me not like. So me I work upon them, yes, because they're harmful to her. I can see how they impact on her. So therefore, I don't want them. So I'm working. Oh, I'm definitely working on that shit. What about you, Fiona?
Yeah, same here. Yep, same. Like,
right.
My mother doesn't know how to rest. She doesn't know how to. I've tried to tell her. So we have a hammock, and it has a beautiful view. And for the past 3 weeks, I've been trying to get her to sit in the hammock for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I am yet to be successful.
No, that's not what I expected the story to end with.
Oh, no. To the point that I stopped bringing it up, because it came to a point that I was bullying her to do it.
No.
So,
okay.
You see, when you hear me and Sherwin going VG and Bad Bears, or to sit down somewhere or whatever, that's me, like you, trying to break through those things, because yes, I have laundry to do. I have things to do, work to do, whatever. But no, I'm taking that time out for that, even though I have those things to do. And she will not do those things. She will never say, I'm stopping. I have this work to do. I'm stopping. It would be, her Sundays are I said to her on Sunday, I said, is this how you plan to spend all your Sundays? Working? She was up and down in the laundry, washing curtains, ironing, doing all this stuff, sweating, pouring with sweat, up and down on the steps. I said, this is how you plan to keep your Sundays? She said, well, there's always work to do. That was her answer. She doesn't know how to. She 100%, it's her rest. And that's when it's not rest, is when she collapses from exhaustion. It's like when her body cannot do it anymore. It's never out of, hey, I'm at a good place right now. I'm going to take a rest. Never. It's never like that.
So number 5, explore alternative paths and opportunities. Okay. Once you have a sense of what needs are being unmet in your life, it is time to do something. What concrete change or changes could you make to improve your present situation? Maybe you need to leave a relationship that's no longer serving you, or maybe you just need to get a night to yourself once a week. The changes don't necessarily have to be big and monumental, but they will make a meaningful difference in your daily life. And that's the key, making a meaningful difference in your daily life. So not the overreaching, like big vision, but what is the day-to-day? What are the day-to-day changes that you can make? Really important. And I love that they said that, because sometimes when we think about changes that need to be made in our lives, we're like, oh my gosh, well, I need to lose 50 pounds, for instance.
Yeah.
And you expect to start exercising today and lose the 50 pounds tomorrow. But actually, maybe if I just adjust the way that I eat or the times that I eat, or maybe not eat a chocolate bar every night at 7:00, right? Just small changes. And those daily habits then become weekly habits, monthly habits. I really love that they tack that on in terms of exploring alternative paths and opportunities, right? And their last one, number 6, take a break. Once you've figured out what you need, you have to actually do it. But that's not always easy, but it's vital to the recovery process. Take a break.
I think for me is I will take a break. That's the point I'm at now. In recognizing my situation, I will take a break. I will say, you know something? Today I am going to the beach and I'm having a me day. And I don't necessarily want anybody around me. I just want a me day. And that's me taking a break. I will go to bed at 8:00 and I will not answer my phone if you call me anytime after 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's choking. Was somebody choking there?
No.
Fiona
my
is
throat was
choking
clear.
again. It's okay.
My throat was clear. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Your throat was clear.
It was clear.
Okay.
Yes.
I love this. It's okay. It's okay.
I know it's okay.
Wow.
But yes, so I do take a break sometimes. Maybe I take a bit of too much of a long break for some people.
It would seem.
But yes.
Right. Oh dear. There's a lot of shade being thrown in this episode, I find, in this conversation.
What you talking about?
Clearing, subliminals, like what?
No, I don't know.
Look at that. And now she's gaslighting me.
No, I was having some coconut cake. I know what you're talking about.
You know what? I'm apologizing.
I agree with taking a break. Okay. I agree with that one. I do that one.
Okay. And for everyone listening, I'm sorry if I use gaslighting in a very superficial way. I'm apologizing for that, because it's a serious thing, you know, but sometimes we can make a little joke now.
Of course.
Okay. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So we really hope that this conversation about burnout has, at the very least, it will lead you to kind of sitting down with yourself and doing some self-reflection, evaluating how you're feeling towards the end of this 12-month cycle, you know, because we're at the end of November when we're recording this. We're heading into the 12th month, December. And typically, as we said, a lot of people are starting to feel the strain of getting through the last 12 months. But I will say this, I am grateful to be alive and to be able to have who did not get through the last few months, this last cycle.
Yep.
So giving thanks for that. We may be burnt out. I may be burnt out, but I'm here, which means that I have an opportunity to get out of this burnout cycle. All right. So, ladies, we've spoken about burnout. We've spoken about some possible solutions. Also, I have to add, you know, therapy. If you have access to therapy, don't wait until you're burnt out.
Yep.
Just get a hold of someone that you align with, that you feel safe with, and get yourself, if you're able to, into weekly sessions. It is not just for other people. It is for us too. Okay? All right. So, my ladies, as we near the end of another episode, I have to know, what has been bringing you joy this week?
What brought me joy this week are my amazing friends.
Hey.
Let me tell you, when I say I am blessed, I am blessed. I am blessed with, and there's no measure. My friends, you guys are my backbone. You guys are everything to me. And especially last week being my birthday, I saw and I was like, wow, I'm truly grateful, truly, truly grateful for my friends, for you, Madam Fiona, Chantal, you guys, you all have in so many ways. I can't even say, I can't mention, it's too much. But I am grateful, and you guys have brought me joy, so much joy this week. I will not say how, go into details because I'm shame.
But why are you exposing your own business?
Oh dear.
But you know what, Fiona?
It's like showing us expose her own business, eh? Like
how I expose my own business. Anyway.
By what you just said, he's like, I will not say. It was very suggestive.
Basically saying it all, right?
Exactly.
Anyway.
So yes, that's what brought me joy this week, my friends, and I love you all to bits. That's it. Fiona, what brought you joy?
What brought me joy this week was experimenting. So Shawina and I have an idea to make black cake, right? For trying a thing. But we want to use local fruit. So what I decided to do was just get whatever fruit I could get my hand on and dehydrate them, because I have a dehydrator there. So I dehydrated some mango, some pawpaw, some star fruit, some banana, some peels, some citrus peels, and it worked out really well. So it's in some rum soaking. So I'm very excited to see how it turns out, to see if we can make a black cake with local fruit. So I'm just like having to be able to experiment with like the fruits we have at home and see how we can like do different things with it. That's what made me happy this week. Chantal?
I love how our conversations always seem to align, because Fiona, the thing that has brought me joy this week has been watching the adaptation of the book Black
Cake.
Yes, Black Cake. I've been watching the series. You guys know I am a big fan of the book by Charmaine Wilkerson. It was one of the Island Girls Rock book club picks last year. And when we found out that it was being made into a TV series, like, we all lost our minds. I had the great pleasure and privilege of actually interviewing the creator of the series, Marissa, which was just a wonderful conversation. And during part of the conversation, she said that she doesn't actually read the reviews of her work once it's out there in the world, because she's given birth to it. And so I haven't gone back to tell her how much I absolutely love the adaptation. It is so true to the book. It is mind-blowing, down to the most minute details. And I always have this little fear of book to film or book to TV adaptations that it's just going to miss the mark. And I was disappointed earlier this year in a book to Netflix film adaptation. And so I was like, I started to watch Black Cake. I'm like, okay, I really enjoyed my conversation with Marissa. Based on what she said, I feel like this is going to be good. I don't want to get too excited. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. And every Wednesday, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, a new episode is dropped. Listen, oh my God, I can't fault it. I can't even say, well, the accents, why they did use Jamaicans. Oh my God, yes, they did, for the most part. So the accents are fine. It's sometimes the accents can be so bad that it distracts you from everything else. Not with Black Cake. It is so beautifully done. It is so respectfully done. I can't say that the layers of the stories, the casting is unbelievable. I'm like, yo, this is insane. And so it has brought me so much joy to see the care that was poured into this very important Caribbean story.
Nice.
Okay. So that Black Cake on Hulu in the US, Disney in the UK, and hopefully streaming outside of those regions. Oh, I think it's streaming in Canada as well, but I can't remember. But we'll put it in the show notes. And so today, because we record on a Wednesday as well as we drop on a Wednesday. Today is episode 7. There's only one more episode to go, but it has brought me immense joy. So that's it for me.
Sounds beautiful.
It is.
You know what? And you say it's not on Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix.
It's
on Hulu
and then ones
in the US and Disney in the UK and somewhere, I'm not sure, in Canada, but we can post in the show notes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On it.
And no one is asking me how I'm viewing it, and I will not say.
I was thinking that. I was like, well, how you watch it? But anyways.
Well, how's she watching it?
I know how I'm going to watch it.
Oh, no.
I didn't want to say.
Please don't. We don't do those things.
No, we don't.
And we don't encourage that.
And on this note.
Well, all right, then. We're wrapping our 3rd episode in our 3rd season. There has to be some significance in that, some numerology, but let's not get into that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for welcoming us back with such open arms and such glee. We really hope that you gained something from this particular episode, from all our episodes, even if it's just to have a laugh. We don't mind. Thank you for listening. Episodes drop every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast fix. And why should you listen to the Relatable podcast? Because a shared journey
brings home.
We gotta do better. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope.